Astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullahaladzim.
Banjir besar.
Astagfirullahaladzim. Astagfirullahaladzim.
Ini dia Enteng tumpah.
Astagfirullahaladzim.
Min woi di belakang rumahku woi. Udah di atas bot. Ya Allah, ya Allah, ya Allah, tengok kereta indah.
And they are essentially going rescue to rescue. LFD is advising people to avoid low-lying areas. Several roads were closed due to flooding, including I-44 westbound near exit 41.
Rancangan
Astagfirullahaladzim. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Ya Allah. Astagfirullahaladzim. 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 Astagfirullahaladzim.
Reports of flooded roads and streets, along with downed trees and power lines, came after strong storms that rolled into Alabama this weekend.
Astagfirullahaladzim. 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 Astagfirullahaladzim.
More than 13,000 people have been evacuated in Malaysia's southern state of Johor as heavy flooding continues ahead of Hari Raya Idul Fitri, disrupting preparations and damaging homes across 6 districts. Numerous videos have hit social media showing massive flooding across Lawton. One picture shows a vehicle nose first in water on 40th and Gore. Severe storms are moving through part of Oklahoma after thunderstorm and tornado warnings were issued earlier Saturday morning. Oakland Fire and Rescue in Walker County reported Highway 69 was flooded and Washington Street near the Oakland Mini Mart was flooded.
At around 3:30 p.m., the city's skies opened up and torrential rain began to pour, flooding streets in the northern and western parts of the city. Since 1700 local time, heavy rain and fierce winds have wreaked havoc across the city, resulting in devastating flooding and widespread traffic disruptions. Several major roads, including Phetchaburi Road, Soy Pradit Manutham 19, and Ratchadapisek Road, have been submerged under rising water levels, while emergency services are scrambling to manage the crisis.
Northwestern Garvin County. As of 10:48 a.m., there are flooded roads from Noble to Moore with up to 2 inches of rain having already fallen and an additional 1 to 2 inches of rain possible over the next hour. Just after 7 a.m. Sunday, there were reports of Interstate 65 at Lakeshore and Homewood seeing flood conditions and some crashes had happened. As of 8 a.m. local time, 95 temporary relief centers were operational, the Johor Disaster Management Committee said in a statement. Some flooding was also reported on Highway 31 at 150 in Hoover during the morning, including some flooding on Valleydale Road in Shelby County as well. Areas that could be impacted by flooding include southeastern Oklahoma City, Norman, Moore, Newcastle, Blanchard, Purcell, Noble, Tuttle, Slaughterville, Lindsay, Lexington, Goldsby, Maysville, Dibble, Wayne, Washington, Powley, Cole, Etowah, and Rosedale.
Okay, now,
Counties. Damon says a flash flood warning is likely coming soon for Oklahoma County. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation said eastbound and westbound I-44 is closed just north of State Highway 49 in Comanche County near Medicine Park and U.S. Highway 62 in Lawton because of flooding. Motorists are urged to avoid the area and find an alternate route. The city of Adamsville reported a downed tree along with downed power lines had blocked Main Street between Midway and Solomon. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency says the bridge at Cemetery Road near US 31 collapsed and is closed. There are currently 13,089 individuals from 3,749 families who have been evacuated, it said. The highest number of evacuees was recorded in Johor Bahru, followed by Kluang, Pontian, Kota Tinggi, Kalai, and Battapahit.
Within minutes, traffic came to a halt as water quickly submerged roads, making them impassable.
In this report, we'll cover the full impact of today's storm, from the hardest hit areas to the ongoing response efforts. With over 130 millimeters of rainfall recorded in just 6 hours and more storms expected, this situation is far from over. Stay tuned to understand the extent of the damage and what's being done to restore order. On May 13th and 14th, 2025, Maryland faced a rapid and destructive onslaught of torrential rains, triggering flash floods that swamped communities from Allegheny to Harford counties.
We have already seen flooding in Lawton, as there has already been about 5 inches of rain in southwestern Oklahoma. Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management officials said heavy rain is causing flash flooding on roadways in southwestern Oklahoma. They urge people to not drive through flooded roads. Aaliyah says US 90 between US 98 and Baldwin County 13 is completely flooded. The Baldwin County Commission has listed multiple roads that have been compromised by flooding. The Baldwin County Emergency Management Agency, EMA, warns residents to avoid unnecessary travel during this time. Floodwaters have risen to dangerous levels in 9 rivers, including Sungay Lenik, Sungay Pulai, and Sungay Skudai, with continuous rain since March 19th causing major traffic congestion and road closures.
These families lost not only their homes, but also personal belongings that held significant sentimental value.
Two roads in Kota Tinggi, Jalan Lukachina and Jalan Mawai Lama, have been shut to all vehicles due to flooding. Johor's chief minister, on Hafiz Ghazi, expressed concern over the situation, noting that many residents have lost their belongings just days before the Hari Raya celebrations.
Bang Ken. The BMA reported that since 1700 hours, rainfall exceeding 100 millimeters was recorded in several areas. District officials are actively clearing drainage systems, while emergency response teams have been dispatched to install additional water pumps where needed.
A perfect setup for violent storms across the southeast. There are currently 13,089 individuals from 3,749 families who have been evacuated. The majority of victims are in Johor Bahru, with 5,402 people, followed by Kluang with 2,458, it said in a statement.
Over the course of 48 hours, lives were disrupted, schools evacuated, roads submerged, and emergency systems tested to their limits. This report documents the extent of the devastation, the human toll, and the coordinated emergency response that followed.
Olha, esse negócio dói. Jesus. Gente, que doideira. A garagem tá fechando.
Winds reached up to 50 miles per hour in some areas, strong enough to uproot even deeply anchored trees, especially in waterlogged soil. Arborists explain that saturated ground essentially liquefies, making even the most stable trees vulnerable to collapse. The other flood-affected districts are Pontian, 1,782, Kotatingi, 1,690, Kalai, 1,531, and Batapayan, 226.
People opened their homes to neighbors, offered food, and shared resources, displaying the true spirit of solidarity.
Some areas, such as Bang Na, Sukhumvit, and Dindaeng, have shown quicker water level recovery. In Klong Lat Phra, water levels were relatively low prior to the rain, but rose significantly during the downpour. Efforts are underway to restore canal water levels to pre-rain conditions in preparation for further rain. Western Port, a small town nestled in the mountains of Allegheny County, was one of the hardest hit areas. Rainfall overwhelmed creeks and storm drains, sending water surging into homes and institutions. At Western Port Elementary School, floodwaters rushed into the building so quickly that students and staff were stranded on the second floor by mid-afternoon.
Emergency officials said it's the worst the region has experienced in nearly 30 years. Communities already soaked from earlier rain were hit hard again, worsening the situation.
There were moments of fear, said Allegheny County Public Schools Superintendent Jeffrey Blank. But our staff and first responders acted heroically. Every child got out safely. The evacuation was carried out with such urgency that many students left their belongings behind. And ensure a swift recovery, the Maryland Department of Emergency Management opened a state coordination center in Reisterstown and issued alerts throughout the night.
On May 5th, a massive hailstorm unexpectedly hit Palm Beach County, Florida, causing considerable property damage and disrupting traffic in the affected areas. The hailstorm, which lasted for about an hour, resulted in numerous cars being damaged, windows of buildings being shattered, and the power system in the region being cut off abruptly. Additionally, roads were blocked by fallen trees and debris, causing severe traffic congestion. Initial reports indicated that some areas were still experiencing power outages and complete traffic paralysis, making recovery efforts challenging.
The storm slammed into Pennsylvania with 85-mile-per-hour winds, uprooting trees and tearing off roofs. A brand new luxury car is crushed under the weight of a falling tree, completely destroyed in an instant. But the destruction doesn't stop there. Golf ball-sized hail begins to fall, shattering windows, denting cars, and wrecking crops. What started as a violent windstorm quickly turned into a catastrophic hailstorm, leaving a trail of devastation across the state.